What's up everybody, this is Side of Strife with another video about my experience here in PlayNYC, and I have to say that the experience was enjoyable like it was in its debut last year. One thing that I was extremely happy about is its location. This time they picked a spot where it was much closer in the heart of the city than it was last year. It was just a few blocks away, or even a block away from Madison Square Garden, so it was very easy to get there. So a big shout out to Playcrafting, and not even just having this event again, but having a location where it was much easier to go to. And all the games that I was able to play or watch were so amazing. I will tell you about these games right now, so here we go. The first game I'm going to show you here, this is the cards, by the way, of the game, so I'm going to show you it through this way. And the game that I was able to play here is called Hero Soul, and pretty much what this game was about, it was pretty much a blend of Secret of Mana and Legend of Zelda. And what was pretty cool about this game was the developers was able to make it was random. There's gonna be, for each room that you go to, it's random, meaning it could be items or it could be enemies, and it was really fun to play. The combat is pretty much like I said, Secret of Mana, and the way when you go to each room is pretty much the equivalent of each panel that you go through from the first Legend of Zelda game. So this game hasn't released yet. He's hoping to get, that's why I say he, meaning the developer, he's hoping to get it as a independent title to be with Nintendo, and I wish him the best of luck because it was really a fun game to play. Another game that I'm going to show you guys is this one called the Last Hex, and pretty much I didn't get to play this game myself. But what it is, it's a card battle game, and it was really fun to watch, again, because like I said, so much people were playing this game. I didn't have enough time to play it myself, so again, it was one of those card battling games, like if you played Hearthstone or Shadowverse, it's pretty much up that alley. And again, I'm looking forward to playing that game when it releases. Another game that, again, I get to play by witnessed was called Skeet Endocardium. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the title correctly, so I apologize if I'm not. What the developer said about this game, though, is pretty much it's a blend of turn-based combat. Again, this is from what I remember. I'm not sure on this, but it's pretty much a turn-based combat and MMO. I do remember again what the game looks like, and but I forgot to say I will definitely upload a video of all the games again that I was able to play or watch. So stay tuned with that. And again, this game looked a lot of fun. So knowing that I'm not usually a fan of MOBAs, that's what this game is about, and it looked like a lot of fun. I'm not sure if I said that correctly, but that's what it's going to be on, so it looks like a lot of fun. Another game that looked pretty cool was called Treasure Adventure World. Pretty much what this game was, it's pretty much like a side-scrolling RPG. So it was pretty much like Zelda 2 from the NES time. And the animation of it was pretty smooth. So I'm looking forward to playing this game, and I'm seeing the back of here. It looks like they have a demo of it, so I'm looking forward to trying that. Another game that I was able to witness was called this game Kung Fu Kickball. Pretty much what this game looked like, it was a blend of kickball but also of Super Smash Brothers. Pretty much it was 2v2, and you could beat each other up. But the basis of this game was to, obviously, score. They had 2 bells as the goals where the teams needed to score on. and it looked like a lot of fun because again it was very action paced, fast paced, but it was still it wasn't so easy to score, and it was a lot of fun to watch. So I'm looking forward to playing that one. Another game that I was able to witness, again not able to play, was this game called Origin of Storms. And what this game was a fighting game, and it was pretty much more of a, I guess you could say maybe Tekken or Blaze Blue. It pretty much had that fluid. I know it wasn't. It was more looked like of a 3D fighter than a 2D fighter, but I think it had like 2D graphics. But overall, this game looked amazing to play. I give the developers a lot of credit on this one. They look very smooth and fluent in its gameplay and fighting mechanics. So I'm looking forward to playing that one. Another game that I was able to witness, just bear with me, was this game called Neon Krieger Yahamo. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, so forgive me if I was wrong. And what this game was a side-scrolling game. And what's pretty cool about this game is that it had co-op. It had 2 players you could play. And I think the stage that they presented, it had a train, interfering in the, it would pass by from time to time in its stage. And it looked like a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward for that one. Another game that I was able to witness, actually no, I was able to play, actually this time, was called Guardians of Lore. Again, if I pronounced that incorrectly, please forgive me. What this game was it was a tower defense game. Pretty much you were nature, and you were the forces of nature trying to drive evil humans who were trying to take over that the planet, the home that the animals were inhabiting, and you had to build defenses in order to fend them off. So I played it. It looked like a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward for that. Another game that I was able to witness. Again, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this correctly. So forgive me, developers, if I get this wrong. Was Averia VS. And this game actually also debuted last year in last year's PlayNYC. Pretty much what this game is, it's pretty much what the developers told me last year. It's pretty much like Final Fantasy turn-based combat. But also, it has PvP elements, so it's pretty much those turn-based games that also they have the PvP, like Summoner's War, or I believe Seven Knights has that, or pretty much, I'm trying to think, those are games usually on mobile, but it's still turn-based, but, what do you call it? But you could do fighting versus others. And it made it, again, like I said, it made its debut last year, but it made return in this year as well, and it was a fun game. I remember last year, I played versus somebody. I did lose, but it was just fun to even experience that. So it was good to see these developers make its return, and it was fun for that. I'm looking forward to playing that one when it releases, if it didn't release, because like I said, it came out last year already. The game, I don't have the title of it, but I do have the demo, and forgive me, developer, for the title. I'm not sure if I got your card on it. Pretty much what this game is, it's pretty much a post-apocalyptic world, and what was cool about this game was the developer actually just made it by himself, and I was so blown away by the game because for one person to make the game that was so smooth, because he was running, I believe, on the PS4, because I had a PS4 controller. Again, if I'm wrong, forgive me. But overall, for what he did, I was so amazed by it. And he even had puzzles and everything to explore. And the enemies that you had to try to, fend off, it took a lot of bullets, like any, post-apocalyptic game. So you had to save your bullets. So he was definitely inspired by The Last of Us, or I'm sure other games like that, and it was so phenomenal. I gave him the utmost credit on that one. I definitely got his demo. I'm looking forward to playing it. So again, forgive me for forgetting the title, but it was so much fun. One of the games, another game that I really enjoyed, and it blew me away. And this is the game that I played in the tournament that I mentioned in my Twitter. It's called Swimsanity. Pretty much what this game is, it was Super Smash Brothers or pretty much any melee game, fighting game of that nature. But the concept was so great. You're going versus underwater, and what was pretty cool about this game, they also had they have items you could collect like in Smash Brothers to use versus your enemies, and your main premise, as you see there, is a gun, so you have to shoot at your opponents. But you also had a meter where you have a special attack like a Final Smash, and they were varied. And what was pretty cool about that, though, you had, I believe, at least 4 different types of final attacks you could do. For example, one of them is you could turn to a shark and actually mow down other enemies swimming from end to end of the screen. Or you had these harpoons that would come from the top of the sky to make it rain down on opponents. So again, I was just so blown away by playing this game. Again, I didn't win in the tournament, but I had no regrets. Just playing this game was so great. The developers were so innovative in this game. I'm looking forward to again this game. And it was such a tease. And as you see, they said it's coming out in 2019. Knowing that's come out from PS4, I am definitely getting that game. And you guys should too. Another game I was able to play was, again, there was 2 games. These are the developers of the game, and forgive me for forgetting the games. Pretty much these games also had fighting games of the Smash Brothers style, and it would look like a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to playing those games if it comes out, whether on PS4 or computer. If it didn't already come out, those games look like a lot of fun. And the last game that I wanted to showcase that I bought was this game called The Great Gaias. What it is, it's an RPG. The developer of this game said that it took him 11 years to make the game. And what's great about this game is they made multiple endings. I didn't get to play the game because, again, the people were taking too long while, playing the game. It looked like I had turn-based combat. And pretty much one of the other developers told me is, to get the best ending, there's those secret end bosses that you have to fight, like in Final Fantasy VII. Like how there's those secret boss weapon bosses to fight, which ironically I haven't beaten, which I told the developer. So maybe this, doing this game and trying to do that will give me the inspiration to hopefully beat those weapons. I definitely bought this game. The game is only available on Steam, and they gave me a discount on it, which I was really grateful. I was blown away with them telling me, telling me all the details of the game, and I was glad I was able to buy it for them to help them support it. So other things I was able to buy. It wasn't from the convention, but I know just how to buy it. I bought this. I saw this in a GameStop in the city. I already knew I had to buy this, knowing I love Mario, and when I saw this, and it was on a discount too, so I knew I had to buy that. And so again, there was so much more games that was shown, which I don't remember, so I apologize to every developer. And this is a message to all the developers and the game makers that were there. You keep up the good work. It amazed me so much and how awesome these games were, and knowing of how little, how much people, that's why I'm saying how little, that's what I mean by how little not a lot of developers made some of their games. You guys are all doing what I wanted to do, which my dream when I was going to college, when I was growing up, and when I went to college, was to make video games. But I was, again, as I was telling one of the developers, for me, I just couldn't make a program work. There was, I'm sure every developer that will notice that makes game design, it was called C++. I remember taking that course. I remember staying up, looking at the computer for 2 or 3 hours straight, trying to rack my brain on how to make the program work, and I just couldn't do it. That's why I just gave up on it. It hurts that I did give up on that dream a bit, because I still have an idea of an RPG myself that I have still to this day. And I'm glad there are some tools that they have, or games I should say, they have. They're called RPG makers that I can use, that I'm going to try to live that dream. And seeing the work that these developers are shown at this conference, I have so much healthy respect for each and every one of you that made these games, and I have a healthy respect for all these independent games that they get out there. You guys are creating joy for others, so you guys are really making a positive impact in people's lives, and I know that you guys want to share the same passion that me and other fellow gamers have, of just playing games, having a great time, and just having fun. What was so good about this conference, from even debuting last year to this year, for us that live here in the East Coast in New York City, you know, not all of us could go to, you know, the E3, because again, it's either time or, of course, you know, what a bigger factor, money. We can't travel. Not all of us can travel to California or to the West Coast or to any convention that's even in the Midwest. So when I heard that this when PlayNYC was debuting from last year, I knew as a gamer in my heart, I had to go. And knowing of how jam-packed it was last year and this year, it shows that it doesn't matter what coast, what part of the country, what part of planet Earth that you live in. If you have a passion with gaming, that you will go anywhere, and I do mean anywhere. I'm sure there are people, and that's why the people on Polygon, I believe they're not from New York. I could be wrong, but I'm sure if not Polygon, I'm sure other people that were not from New York went to this. But for us that live here in the East Coast, this was such a joy. You know, this was such a joy and a dream come true of us to go and enjoy gaming. In the tournament that I played in, and in just going to the event and walking around, it was a genuine feeling of just happiness and just having a good time. And in this new world of everything, you know, of everything that's, what do you call it, gaming, and in the social world, it was just so much fun and attending this event and playing games and seeing all these developers and makers showing off their talents and their passion, and them for sharing the passion of us just as gamers, as game players, not even developers, the ones that just enjoy playing video games. Again, thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. And I know I'm not the only one that feels this way. To you guys, thank you guys for working so hard and displaying your talents to New York City, because it was such a good time of just enjoying these games. I'm looking forward to, again, purchasing these games, because I know you guys put forth the hard work, and I believe this to this day. Hard work and dedication pays off. And so thank you to every single developer that was there. Thank you, Playcrafting, for creating this opportunity for all of us here in New York City. I believe you guys will definitely keep on expanding on this. I wish each and every one of you guys the very best in success in everything that you guys do. So again, from the bottom of my heart, and on behalf of all gamers here in New York and here in the East Coast, and on behalf of gamers in general, thank you so much, everybody. This is Sawdust Strife saying this is loyalty to all. Peace.